Hello. Today I'm going to be building a Narwhal cart. Just to get this out of the way, I do read all the comments and I do read all of your suggestions, but for now I'm going to focus on more of the actual builds that people might need help with. Like super niche ones I might build in the future, but I've seen a number of people ask for like Mammoth and Mastodon and Narwhal, so I'm going to do a Narwhal cart because it's pretty much all three in one, and then I might do an Organext because that's something else that other people would like to know how to build. But yes, I do read all the comments, so if there's anything you want me to build, just let me know. So for this build we have a Whaler cab, a Jackie, an Odin that's unfused. I'm trying to be player friendly, a synchronizer, sort of testing this, flywheel, fin whale, and two narwhals. All right, let's get started. All right, we'll start with the frame. Now, the weakest part about these like narwhal cart or whatever, these cart builds with Whaler is the Odin. There's no real point in stripping them because the guns have so much durability, and if you're going to strip the guns, that durability is equal to just cabbing them, and even then it's like 4,000 or 5,000. So the weakest part is the Odin, which is very, very scorpable. So for this build, I want to maybe put some heavy frames around the Odin. Put the Odin there for now. Have one pin there for another frame. And you can do a 6x4 on the front. That, and then we'll grab 6x4 heavy. That, and then I think another something like this maybe. I could do this, depending on how much room we have inside, I might do this, but I actually think this is more dangerous than this. Alright, and because the Whaler and Narwhals have like, the Whaler has this little lip here, and the Narwhals, you can't one pin them. Like this is the whole turret, so you're gonna need to have the Jackie up like this, and there's a pin underneath this pin right there, putting that on the Whaler so we get more speed, and then you just have each Narwhal on by one pin like that. Grab fin whale. This, for anyone that doesn't know as well, engines are just generally good armor, so don't be afraid to use your engine as armor. Like this is 500 durability. I'll keep the engine like this for now, but if so, we can do it like this, or we can go underneath like that. But for now, we'll just keep it there. Right, now we've got this like baseline down here with all the frames. We'll do the wheels. Now I could use widgets. I don't want to use widgets, but they are tanky as fuck. I might use widgets. I might do like, not two versions, but I'll build the frame with widgets and then see if I like it. And if not, then I'll go to hermits and buggies. So I'll do some stuffing around and then I'll come back. Alright, so I'm gonna settle with widgets. They just feel a bit better to use and they're a lot stronger, you know, with their perk and just their base durability. A lot of people don't know with widgets, but just moving them, like moving this from here to here, will completely change how the build feels. Like these things are super finicky with like steering and stuff, so I'm gonna keep it like this for now. I've got a steering in the back just because I like my builds being pointy, but I don't like when they overdrift. Like at the moment, it just keeps drifting like that. You can see it just keeps drifting, but I think that's just because there's no weight. So once I finish the build and get a lot of armor on, I'll move these widgets around and find something more comfortable. But at the moment, I'll show you what I've done with the widgets. So we've got a steering up in the corner there. We've got a steering on that little circle there. Flush, like, so you get the next set of pins there. And then just a steering on the back there. Sorry, a non-steering on the back here. And then same on the other side. Now I did change the frames here. I don't know what they were before, but I just put 2x8s here. I might just change these back to something else. This is just me testing with different, having it inside one pin. All right, so now we've got the general wheel layout done. I'm gonna start with the armoring. So armoring these kind of builds is kind of annoying, and especially if you're using mastos, you don't have a lot of mass at all. So I'm gonna do some trial and error, and I'll come back when I've found something that I like. All right, I kind of have a general idea as to sort of where I want to go with this. So we'll start with grab like a Torino bonnet or Socorro, something like, I think Yeah, there. Just have the cab out a bit because builds like this have so much cab dura that it is nice to... What you kind of want to do is take yellow damage first and then start losing like armor parts. Like a build like this, for example. So this has 9,000 cab dura. My cab can go down to 1 HP, but if I turn around, I still have over 9,000 durability left. You know what I mean? But if I lost this durability first, then my cab dura goes down with it. So if you have your cab out a bit and your cab gets shot, it's like kind of free durability, you know what I mean? Anyway, it's like that, and then you grab like a bracket, so you have your armor mounted on pass through. Grab your manica, grab the one, I think this one's left. Yeah, so the left and right manicas are different. So this has 3 pins here, and then it has 4 pins here. So I have the one with more pins on the bottom, so for here it's left. Then we can grab a van door, and then you control click this and flip it upside down. You can actually merge them in like that. And then we'll grab another bracket and something like this. And we'll go from here. So my plan now, so this is pretty much what the outside's gonna be. We'll mirror this on the other side later. We're gonna put a bunch of armor in here to make this more dense. And this entire rear section is just gonna be dense armor as well. All right, what I want to do, I don't know if I'll have enough mass to do it, but I have a Montefortino here. The point of this is to protect the Jackie from like side shots. I want to have the slab here, same purpose. And I want to use the crane side, but I think it might be too heavy, but we'll leave it here for now and we'll see where it goes. So that's just crane side flush in there, the slab up in there. I can put something in there later on, and a Montefortino like that. We'll also chuck the reload module under here for now. It should be fine though. It's just sort of Odin armor. And the synchronizer, we'll put it somewhere. I actually don't even know where. And for now, we'll put the Pandora under here somewhere. Find a better spot for that soon. So we've got a big empty space in here. Again, I want to make this really dense. We've got like 4x3 for the most part, by 6 I think. So another little trick that people maybe don't know is these cast corners here. So we can grab one, put it on its side like this. That's the left one. If you grab the right one, you can like, there it is, wait, I just had it. You can do this, they sort of fit in perfectly, you know. Maximum density. Again, these things have really nice resistances and dura to mass ratios as their cast parts, which are, it's probably my favorite type of part in the game, cast parts. These are really nice. And then on top of it, we have like a 2x3x4 or something, which I think, yeah, a bonnet will fit in here. Yeah, we'll do a right bonnet. I don't think it really matters how we have this. Something like that, I don't think it really matters. The annoying thing about manicas is I have this slope here, which not a lot of things fit into. So this space is a lot smaller than it looks. I think bonnet is our best bet though. And what we can do to get maybe more pins is flip this. Yeah, something like this. Just so we have both pins connecting, like the 2 pins on the Monty here connecting to these 2, as well as all these back pins and side pins connecting to that. Because this slab doesn't need much, it's on the frame. It's on 2 frames already, so that's fine. And then I guess we just repeat this on the other side and we'll see how much mass we have left. We're nearly at mass, but I think that's still quite a lot to do this back part here. The synchronizer, I'm not sure I want the Pandora. I don't know the best way to use Pandora, if you should just have it like a nuke in the middle of your build, or if you should still have it detachable. For this build, I'll just leave it somewhere in there. We can grab like a Sire, chuck it there, because it just fits nicely, you know. What I might do is flip this around so we have pins here. Maybe same with the Sire, even though it's not, you know, scratching the brain with this. Maybe it is because it's like that. Anyway, we get some pins like this. We can do a little bit of like 2x1. More cast parts. Just any protection for explosives. If we need mass, we can just get rid of these or substitute them down for something a lot lighter, like bandages actually. These are probably better anyway. You know, longer, and they are still, bandages are a good part. Still have no idea where to put the synchronizer. I could just chuck it down there, and on the other side we'll put Captain's Bridge. There you go. Pretty much the same thing. We'll just do that, right? Synchronizer in there, Captain's Bridge on the other side. Now we need to make all this here. So we will be using the Horo somewhere. Not sure where. It could just be back here, right? Towards the end. Put a Keen on it as well. Or you could do the Keen on the front, maybe. We got to do the front as well at some point. Wow, our mass is coming short. We got like 1,000 left. can just stack van doors like that. The goal of this again is to make this like as dense as possible. Maybe not as possible, but just really dense towards the rear. I don't want to lift the Horo up. I think we'll have the Horo around here somewhere. We'll bump the Sire up a pin. And what's our Horo? And then we can grab a Horo and chuck it like this. And then we'll start using our like meta parts. So your like power slide, your flaming trunk. Like this. It's our mass. Wow, our mass is really getting tight. What we might do, not going to worry about the mass at the moment because I can always fix that. Now, what I want to do, what I think I might do, I mean, this is 200 mass. This is 140% and it's only 200 mass. 2 blues fused is like 120% and 180 mass. I was going to use like 2 blues, 34 shots. 2 blues is, I mean, it's a good bit less mass, like 50 odd less. Same shots. I might just use 2 blues. The only problem is I would have them detachable like this and then have like a bumper on the front and have it detachable, which means if we lost both on like the first engage, you have 14 shots. It's not a lot. Okay, I might keep the Pandora then. But anyway, we'll stick with this for now. I could just push this in a bit more. Something like that. Could put the Keen on the rear as well. That shouldn't scrape. Yeah, we'll just leave the Keen there, and then we'll do the front. Now I want a bumper. Oh, I didn't use these. Okay, just realized I haven't used these awesome meta parts. Now, how much space? Okay, well, we'll do that. So yeah, we'll remove everything that was in here. Take this Monty out for a sec. Chuck a carjack up in here. Put the Monty back and chuck this in. Do this up because the jacky is exposed there. So we'll have it up flush like this. So remove the crane side, the slab, the synchronizer for now. That'll wait. And then we'll grab our awesome new pay to win meta part and have it flush to protect the jacky a little bit. Now we do still have room down here, so we can put the synchronizer like that. And I think maybe we can have the slab. Have the slab like that. So for this side, we'll do our Captain's Bridge is kind of heavy and it's okay. I might use this flame starters, fucking hell, fire starters part, just like that. It's a bit lighter, so it gives us more mass to work with. And then again, grab our slab. This. Have the armored part more inwards because the jacky is like there, right? You want your armor to be protecting here. If this goes, it doesn't matter. The cab is right there. So make sure you have your armored part there. And again, if anyone doesn't know, this has the armor and all the resistances. This doesn't. So this has 49 durability. This has 93. Our mass is still looking like arse, and I do want to have a bumper. So my problem with widgets, at least right now, is like they use so much space. Like there's no need for, like, you see how far they're coming out there. They don't need that whole frame there. They're using a lot of space. I think I might go back to normal wheels. The problem with widgets, at least with like this frame, like with most widget builds, you usually want to have like, you remove this and you put a widget there. So you just have one widget out here and you do the same on the rear. I'm just not a fan of that. It makes steering really weird. It means that if the widget goes, this is like really open and it's difficult to even armor the widget. And with something like this, my mass is fine, right? I have a lot more mass. So I'll quickly fix this up so that our steering isn't like horrible. And then I'll run through what I've done. So I'll quickly run through everything. So you can follow along if you want to do that. Now we'll grab our bug ST, put it on like the 2, like in the center. Grab another bug, put it on the 2 at the front. Then I'll grab our Hermit ST, flush as far forward as you can go. Another bug, but this one is non-ST, as far forward as you can go. Another Hermit ST, far forward as you can go. Bug ST, bang, bug ST, bang. And you might need to move the Caliger in 1 pin like that, if I can't remember how I had it. Anyway, and same on the other side. Bug in the center, bug on the front, ST, Hermit ST, flush, bug non-ST, Hermit ST, 2 bug STs on the rear. Now, the reason you have your bug non-ST, like the center one here, like this as non-ST and not like a Hermit, is because Hermits will usually last a lot longer than bugs. These fall off very quickly, and Hermits with their perk don't. And if it gets to a point where you lose pretty much all your wheels except your Hermits, you don't want to have 2 non-ST Hermits and you just can't steer. So it's better to have your bug non-ST here, like this. And this should handle pretty well, and we do have more mass. Yeah, I like this a lot more than widgets. It also handles a lot better. My only problem with widgets is that they're really annoying to build with because they take up so many pins and they're super finicky with getting them to work properly, like steer. Like I was saying earlier, if you move one widget like back a pin and flip it around, the build handles completely differently. And I don't want to spend half an hour trying to have it work properly. Now we'll do the front again. So what I want to do is a bumper. How much mass? See, look at that. I can do it. I can literally just have a bumper now and not worry about mass. I think something like this is fine. And then we can do, you can do your meta parts like this. We are over mass, but barely, so that's easily fixable. Do want to armor the rear of this Pandora here with something. I mean, that'd be a is possible though, especially since that's pass through. Tray. A tray is fine. Anything is better than nothing. Okay. We'll do a rump actually. A rump is a bit better. There we go. Put the Caligars back one pin, just a bit more depth. Alright, now we've got to fix the mass. Obviously I can probably just swap that out for like an electric car trunk. Or even the little one, the nose cut. Yeah, something like that. We still got like 10 mass, which I'll just leave it there. Not using all the parts, but that's fine. These builds are very finicky with their mass, so not reaching parts is okay. We can use buggy parts, but not a big fan of buggy parts. They actually have really good 0 to mass ratios, but I don't know, they just feel weak. It's kind of hard to explain. I might do a challenge build video at some point where I build a video using only buggy parts, or like mostly only buggy parts, something like that. Could be fun. All right, yeah, so that is pretty much done. For anyone that doesn't know, the reason we have the bumper here is to negate ram damage, because ram damage in this game is kind of ridiculous. Sometimes you get rammed for thousands, other times it's like 30, and bumpers just negate pretty much all ram damage. And it has no pass through, which means it's a lot harder for someone to shoot through this and then the frame and this and then pop your Odin. So it's just really good armor, which is also why bumpers don't give cab 0. And then, yeah, I think we're done. I think 34 shots is enough. We got the synchronizer as well. And then we just paint it. All right. After painting and adding the decor, which is important, we're pretty much ready to go. If you haven't already or you haven't seen, this is using Grizzly, of course. More mass limit is good. That's pretty much it. Obviously the perk is nice. More durability, everything like that. And I'm going to put the whaler on, make sure you sort out your keybinds. I'm going to put the whaler on left click because for anyone that also doesn't know, when you get the whaler perk, if you have it on the same trigger as your guns, then when you shoot, it like the perk goes to that shot. 355, 280. You can have the whaler perk on the same trigger. Alright, and let's get into some matches. At 16k, 17k, so I should be able to find some matches. Alright, I'm on EU servers, on Bridge. Got a decent match. Actually, it's not just me being 17k, then everyone else is 9k. I'm not too familiar with Narwhals and like their spread and projectile speed. I've pretty much, I wouldn't say never used them, but I barely used them. And I used them a long time ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if I start whiffing a lot. Ah, yes, bots. I do love shooting some bots. Man, I hate having slow projectile speed. That's why I usually use a presser on these builds. Because then you just gotta wait so long, you gotta drive around your rotation speed. Wait, did I say projectile speed? Fuck. I mean, the synchronizer obviously helps with that, but you pretty much need to lose a weapon for that to happen, right? Bro. Is that the spread or is that just shit aim? What is going on? This way! Go! Or what the fuck? Bro, Aviator is so shit. There's just so much going on. It's just like you can't like, there's just no strategy. It's just sort of fucking around. Alright, we're on Bridge again. The variation in this game is unbelievable. I kind of wish this game had a competitive mode. Like, you obviously got Clan Wars, but an actual like 4v4, it's open all the time, any power score range, and there were like leagues. Maybe you didn't get uranium, or maybe you got like uranium at the end of the week for finishing in a certain league, but I just hate 8v8 so much. There's just so much shit going on. There's no strategy, it's just sort of fucking around. And Clan Wars is only open on certain days, certain periods of time. Obviously, the game probably doesn't have the player base to even have a competitive mode like that, but just anything would be nice. Just CC is only open every second hour and it's 10k power score, which isn't fun for some people. Oh my god. Like, there's so much going on, bro. Like, you can't even focus on anything because there's so much shit happening. Okay. Like, what is that, bro? 16 people in, like, the tiny little river down there. Really not used to this projectile speed. It's kind of weird. It's like quick at sometimes, but then it feels slow. We're on Crater this time, still EU servers. Let me know what you think of this competitive idea, by the way. Let me know anything that you would change or add, because I'd like to hear what other people think about some things, because this game is very divided. There's like the competitive players and then there's the casual players, and they are on completely opposite ends of the spectrum. But I think a competitive mode would be really nice for players. Like, you could, like, random queue. Like, you could solo queue and get randoms, like CC. But playing CC, you literally get nothing for it. Like, they could just make CC how it is, but give us actual rewards, and have it, like, any power score range. That'd be so nice. Chasing this guy down. Oh shit. Oh, the Hammerfall perk. I parked. Or what? There we go. He's actually going to strip me with those king mines if I'm not careful. Or just his gun. Man, the proj is really weird. I think the spread kind of affects it a little bit as well for me. And the rotation speed also adds that in when I'm playing a car build. Yeah, I'm definitely not putting on a solid performance. Let's just say that. Jupiters shouldn't be able to do that. They need to get rid of that slowdown. It's kind of retarded. Yeah, the proj is very weird on these. I'm not too sure with leading. Alright, on Founders Canyon this time. I'd like to get at least a match where I'm actually hitting my shots. Not just looking like an idiot. Yeah, that slowdown needs to go. It's ridiculous. It already does like 2,000 damage just on a drive-by, and then you just sit in it. Oh, like there's so much going on. I don't even know who to shoot, bro. I'm like... hoping my team would leave there as I'm going in, but no, it's pub matches, isn't it? It's just a bunch of idiots. They're still sitting there. I don't know what they're even doing. They're still sitting there. What are they doing, bro? They're on ship graveyard this time, so hopefully the match isn't just going to be an 8v8 cluster in like the tiniest little area. Well, their whole team just fucking left. We got a good map and their whole team just left. We actually got a good map, and their entire team just left. He's got Titans. Oh, hello. Understanding the proj a little bit more. Alright, this might be one of my last matches. I have an idea for like a video thing. You guys send me your builds and I will kind of review them, tell you maybe what's wrong with them, what's good with them, all that stuff. If anyone else is interested, let me know in the comments. Holy shit. What was it? 4,000 damage? I know when you like the Narwhal perk doing more damage to cold things, that if you can ramp that up, it does crazy damage. But I'm just, you know, struggling to even hit my shots. Oh wow, this guy is very skillful, isn't he? Bruh. Dude, like, you see what I mean about like players, like bad players and myriads? Like, he just starts and stops instantly and he doesn't make any sense. Dude, the rotation speed is fucking me. Oh, my whole team is dead. You would have thought. The proj is so weird. I don't understand the proj on this. I think it's the rotation speed. I think the rotation speed is really slow. Alright, after this match, I'm gonna change the Finwhale for an oppressor. Definitely isn't what the build should be, but I just want to see how it feels with faster rotation speed. And I guess the proj, but mainly the rotation speed. We'll see if my aim feels better with that. We got LM, my good friend LM here. Haven't seen him in a while. I wonder what he's doing. Sick, I'm just needing to like turn. I'm needing to turn to aim my weapons because the rotation speed is so slow. Can't hit him properly. Oh my god. Alright, I'll switch the engine and we'll see how it feels with that. Alright, this is probably my last match. I might play one more depending on how this goes. I'll put the oppressor in. Obviously, this isn't how the build actually is going to be. I just want to see what it's like for me with better rotation speed. Because the guns are kind of paper. No, I don't know how much dura they have. Like 800 maybe. I didn't see that bell, bro. That's so funny. Lagging a bit. Like, this is so much better. Like, I can do this. I can peek and snap shoot like this. I don't need to wait for the guns to rotate. Oh, I love bots, bro. I love bots. Add more of them to the game, please. Just did 1,000 damage to the ground. Bad aim. This does feel a lot better though. If I were to use this, for me, I would use oppressor and just deal with the reduced weapon dura. because this makes it so much easier to use. Whole team's dying. But yeah, I do like the oppressor a lot more, I will be honest. Yikes, that was just bad aim. No, I'm dead. There he is. I was waiting for him. Yeah, for me, oppressor is much more important than fin whale, just because I can actually hit my shots with it. I'll play one more. All right, we're on bridge for the final match. I think this is where we started. Can't see shit. I think they need to add more people to the map, actually. We're at 20v20 on Old Town. Yeah, that sounds sick, doesn't it? There's more people down this chute here, I'm pretty sure. I think someone's cloaked. Oh. Oh. Okay, well, here now. Wait, there's a guy down there. There's a teammate down there, I didn't even realize. Well, just sealed my fate. Okay, that was a bad aim. Alright, I didn't have any amazing matches.